Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Hello everyone, and welcome to our technology update. Today, we are looking at a major development from OpenAI. They have just introduced a new flagship model called Orion.
That is right, Alex. This release is quite different from what we have seen before. While older models focused on being good at conversation, Orion is designed for something deeper, complex reasoning.
Exactly. For our listeners, reasoning means the ability to think through a problem step by step. Orion is built to handle difficult tasks in mathematics and logic with much higher accuracy.
One of the most important features is that it can self-correct. If the model makes a mistake while working on a technical task, it can identify the error and fix it. This leads to a much lower rate of hallucinations or false information.
This is a significant shift. Industry analysts believe Orion will fundamentally change how we do scientific research and software engineering. It makes the AI more of an independent partner rather than just a chat tool.
However, OpenAI is being careful with the rollout. They're starting with a restricted release for enterprise partners. This allows them to test the model's high-level capabilities while maintaining strict safety standards.
It is clear that AI is evolving. We are moving from tools that simply talk to us to agents that can proactively solve problems for us.
It is a fascinating transition for the industry. Thank you for joining us for this discussion.
We will see you in our next update. Good morning. Today, we are looking at a major announcement in the world of technology. Global organizations have finally agreed on the official standards for 6G wireless networks.
That is correct, Alex. The International Telecommunication Union has finished the global framework. Their goal is to have 6G ready for everyone by the year 2030.
For our listeners, this is a significant step. In the past, different countries sometimes used different systems. By creating one unified standard now, they are preventing confusion in the future.
Exactly. It provides a clear roadmap for tech companies. One of the most impressive parts of this plan is the speed. They expect 6G to be up to 100 times faster than the 5G we use today.
That speed is possible because 6G will use much higher frequencies. But it is not just about downloading movies faster, is it?
Not at all. A key feature of 6G is something called integrated sensing. This means the network itself will be able to detect physical objects and understand the environment around it.
This leads to some futuristic possibilities. Experts are talking about holographic communication, where you can see a 3D image of the person you are talking to. They even mention the Internet of Senses, where you might be able to feel or smell things through a digital connection.
It sounds like science fiction, but the foundation is being built now. President Trump's administration has highlighted the importance of staying ahead in this global race.
Markets have reacted very positively to this news. Now that the rules are set, hardware manufacturers can begin production with confidence.
It is a steady move toward a very different digital world. We will certainly see more developments as we approach 2030.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. It is an exciting time for global innovation. Good morning, Jamie. Today, we are discussing a major update from the Federal Reserve. In their recent February meeting, they decided to keep interest rates exactly where they are.
That's right, Alex. The Federal Reserve chose not to raise or lower the rates this time. This decision comes as the U.S. economy, under the Trump administration, continues to show surprising strength.
It is interesting. Usually, if inflation is under control, people expect interest rates to go down. Why did the Fed decide to wait?
Well, the Fed pointed out two main reasons: the strong labor market and high consumer spending. Even though inflation is now close to the 2% target, Americans are still spending a lot of money. The Fed wants to be cautious. They don't want to cut rates too early and risk making inflation rise again.
So the economy is staying strong without crashing. Experts are calling this a soft landing, right?
Exactly. The GDP, which measures the country's economic growth, is remaining steady. The strategy now is to maintain this momentum. While investors are watching closely, the Fed suggests that we might not see any rate cuts until late 2026.
It seems the goal is long-term stability. By keeping rates the same, they hope to protect the current economic expansion while ensuring prices stay predictable for everyday citizens.
Precisely. It's a balanced approach. They want to keep the economy moving forward without losing the progress they've made against inflation.
Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie. We will continue to monitor how these financial decisions affect the national market.
My pleasure, Alex. We'll be back with more updates soon.
Good morning. Today, we are looking at significant changes in the global markets. Prices for industrial metals have just reached their highest level in 18 months.
That is correct, Alex. This surge follows the announcement of several new trade agreements between different nations. These deals focus on the safe transport of rare minerals and materials used in batteries.
It seems these agreements are changing the market quickly. Why are we seeing such a sudden rise in prices?
Well, there is a very high demand for electrification. This means more infrastructure for electric power and green energy. Because these new trade corridors are still developing, the immediate supply of these metals has become very tight.
Under President Trump's current administration, trade security is a top priority. How are investors responding to these new developments?
Professional investors are moving their capital into assets backed by these commodities. They are doing this to protect their money from supply problems or political changes. They want a hedge or a safety net against uncertainty.
This will likely have a direct impact on the public, won't it? For example, the cost of building electric vehicles.
Yes, exactly. We expect the production costs for electric cars and energy storage systems to go up throughout this year.
It is a complex situation. We must also consider the broader manufacturing sector. If metal prices stay high, it could lead to higher inflation globally.
Indeed. Experts are watching the situation closely to see how these price changes will affect the cost of everyday goods in the coming months.
Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie. We will continue to monitor these market trends. Thank you for joining us. Good morning. Today, we are discussing a significant move from the White House. President Trump has signed a new executive order called the Infrastructure Acceleration Act.
That is right, Alex. This order is a key part of the president's America First agenda. The main goal is to reduce red tape, which refers to the complex rules and paperwork that often slow down large federal projects.
Specifically, the order focuses on the construction of highways, pipelines, and power grids. It mandates that environmental reviews and the permission process must now be completed within a strict 12-month window.
In his address today, the president emphasized that this change is essential. He believes that by speeding up these projects, the United States can maintain its competitive edge and strengthen the domestic manufacturing base.
While the administration is focused on speed, the move has received mixed reactions. Industry leaders have praised the initiative. They say it provides regulatory certainty, meaning companies can now plan their projects with a clear and predictable schedule.
However, there are concerns as well. Some critics argue that a 12-month limit is too short for thorough environmental oversight. They worry that rushing the process could lead to long-term damage to the environment.
It is certainly a major shift in policy. The administration views this as a cornerstone for modernizing the country's infrastructure quickly and efficiently.
Indeed, it is a developing story that highlights the balance between rapid economic growth and environmental protection.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. We will continue to monitor the impact of this new order.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you all for joining us today.
Good morning. Today we are discussing a significant update in international relations. The United States and the United Kingdom have officially signed a new free trade agreement.
Hello, Alex. This is indeed a major development. This agreement marks the beginning of a new economic partnership between the two nations. It is designed to make trade much easier and cheaper.
That is correct. Under the leadership of the Trump administration, this deal removes many old barriers. For example, it eliminates tariffs, which are taxes on imported goods, on products like crops, food, and cars.
It also helps the financial sector. Experts believe that because of these changes, trade between the U.S. and the U.K. will increase by 15% over the next 5 years. That is a very large growth for both economies.
Beyond just money, officials say this pact strengthens the special relationship between the two countries. It also helps both nations stay competitive against other large trade groups around the world.
I also noticed that the agreement focuses on the future. It includes new rules for digital trade and the protection of intellectual property.
This shows that both governments are thinking about the modern digital economy.
This ratification is a major diplomatic achievement for President Trump's trade policy across the Atlantic. It creates a clear path for future cooperation.
It certainly does. It will be interesting to see how this impacts businesses and consumers in the coming months. Thank you for the analysis, Alex.
Thank you, Jamie. And thank you all for listening to our report. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for today's National News Update. I'm Alex.
And I'm Jamie. Today, we are looking at a new government program designed to help older Americans stay connected in a digital age.
That is correct. The Department of Health and Human Services has just launched the Silver Connection Initiative. This program is a partnership between the government and several major technology companies.
It is a timely move. The goal is to provide digital training for citizens over the age of 65. As we know, more essential services like banking and healthcare are moving entirely online.
Exactly, Jamie. The program focuses on 3 key areas: cybersecurity, telehealth, and online financial management. It is about teaching seniors how to see a doctor online and how to manage their money safely without being scammed.
To make this accessible, the government is using local community centers as hubs. Seniors can visit these centers for hands-on workshops and direct technical support.
Experts in sociology are very pleased with this launch. They have noted that digital isolation is a major cause of loneliness among the elderly. By learning these skills, seniors can stay socially and economically active.
It is also about health. Keeping the mind active by learning new technologies can help slow down cognitive decline. This program is a significant investment in our social fabric.
It is good to see the administration taking these steps to ensure no one is left behind as technology advances.
Indeed, it is a practical solution to a growing challenge.
That concludes our report on the Silver Connection Initiative. Thank you for listening.
Have a productive and safe day.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a significant change in how young Americans view their future careers.
That is right, Alex. A new report from the Department of Education shows that enrollment in vocational schools has increased by 25% over the last 2 years.
This is a major shift for Gen Z. It seems these students are prioritizing stable jobs and, perhaps more importantly, avoiding the heavy burden of student debt.
Exactly. We are seeing record numbers of applicants in fields like precision manufacturing, renewable energy, and specialized healthcare. These are practical, high-demand skills.
The economic factor is clear. Technical sectors now offer very high wages. Additionally, under President Trump, the federal government has increased funding for apprenticeship programs. This makes it easier for students to learn while they earn.
Some experts are calling this a blue-collar renaissance. It is forcing traditional universities to think differently. If students are moving toward trade schools, universities may need to lower their tuition or change their classes to stay relevant.
It really shows a broader change in our society. People are starting to value practical skills just as much as a 4-year degree.
It is a logical move in an evolving labor market. For many young people, a specialized trade is now the fastest path to the American dream.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. It will be interesting to see how this trend reshapes the American workforce in the coming years.
Thank you, Alex.
Good morning. I'm Alex. Today we are discussing a major scientific breakthrough that could change the future of our planet.
Good morning, Alex. Yes, scientists at a national laboratory have finally reached a goal they have been working toward for decades. They successfully created a fusion reaction that produced more energy than it consumed.
This is what scientists call a net energy gain. For our listeners, why is this such a significant moment?
To put it simply, Alex, fusion is the process that powers the sun and the stars. It is a clean energy source that produces no carbon emissions and very little waste. For a long time, the problem was that it took more energy to start the reaction than the reaction actually gave back.
But now that has changed. The team used a powerful system of lasers and redesigned fuel capsules to achieve this result. They also managed to keep the reaction going for a longer time than ever before.
That is correct.
While this is a historic scientific success, we must remember that there are still many engineering challenges ahead. It will take time to scale this technology so it can actually power the national electrical grid.
Right. However, the government is moving quickly to support this. President Trump has pledged additional funding to accelerate the work. The goal is to develop a pilot fusion power plant by the early 2030s.
It is a very steady and hopeful step forward. If they succeed, it could provide the world with a nearly unlimited source of clean energy.
Truly a historic breakthrough. Thank you for that clear analysis, Jamie.
My pleasure, Alex.
Good evening. Today, we share a remarkable discovery from deep space that has the scientific community talking.
That is right, Alex. The James Webb Space Telescope has detected something very special on a planet called K2-18b. This planet is located in the habitable zone, where temperatures are just right for liquid water.
The most exciting part of this report is the presence of a gas called dimethyl sulfide, or DMS. On our own planet, DMS is mostly produced by tiny life forms in the ocean.
It is a significant finding. In addition to this gas, the telescope confirmed that K2-18b has a large liquid ocean and an atmosphere rich in methane.
However, the researchers are remaining very calm and professional. They caution that while this is strong evidence, these chemicals could still come from natural, non-biological processes.
Exactly. It is not a 100% guarantee of life yet, but it is the most compelling evidence we have found outside our solar system so far.
This discovery has reached the highest levels of government. Under President Trump's administration, the United States continues to lead in space exploration, and this news highlights the value of the James Webb Project.
Now, scientists around the world are calling for a dedicated mission to study this planet's atmosphere even more closely. They want to be sure about what is happening there.
It is a steady and logical step forward in our journey to understand the universe. Thank you for joining us for this update.
Thank you. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Goodbye.